Hey guys, Marsangit here, bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today is the day. I've been waiting for this. I have talked about this for months, you guys know, and when Golden Week was announced as Buu Saga, I talked about these guys. I've been waiting for the EZAs for this TEQ Vegeta and the Ink Goku for such a long time. I've always been a big fan of this TEQ Vegeta unit, and obviously once we saw the details, it very much seems like his EZA, he could be one of the best EZA TURs in the game now. So really looking forward to doing this showcase. So obviously we have him Rainbow, full level 10 links. I haven't changed his skill orbs at all since his details came out or anything. I think he probably doesn't need as much crit. Maybe, I mean, he's a strong defensive unit, but I could probably play around with that, but we won't worry too much about his build. Obviously, his lead is Super Saiyan 2 or Resurrected Warriors. Super Saiyan 2 is a category that definitely could use some help. Resurrected Warriors has some good units on it, so I mean, you could use him as a leader for like a battlefield setup, or you could probably make some fun like 170 teams with his leader skill. His super attack, Final Flash, raise attack and defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy. And then his passive, Ki +2, attack and defense 150, reduces damage received by 30%. And then he gets an additional attack boost up to 120. The more HP, the greater the attack boost. And if HP is 50% or more, he has a 70% chance to launch an additional attack. Then he gets defense boost up to 120. The less HP remaining, the greater the boost. So obviously on full health, he's not really getting any extra defense. But he makes up for that by having damage reduction. If HP is 50% or less, he guards. He randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow when there is a Buu Saga ally in the same turn or a Buu Saga enemy. Then he gets an additional 20% damage reduction if you pick up 1 rainbow orb, which is not very difficult to do when you are a rainbow orb changer. And so that puts him at 50% damage reduction. He gets attack and defense 120 when attacking with 3 or more key spheres obtained. And then when you meet the conditions, he will transform. So he's at 224k now. So we can put that into the calculator to get the exact, if we just do, what is it, 224,733, and then plus 120% when attacking if he gets the 3 orbs. So that puts him up to 494, and his super attack effect gives him 30% as well. So that's going to be about, what, 70 to 80k extra on top. So it goes up to about 570k defense. With 50% damage reduction, as long as you've got a rainbow orb. So obviously as a slot 2, that's pretty solid. I mean, if he gets hit by like a big super, then obviously that would still be bad for him. Now we don't have a Buu Saga ally on the rotation, but we do have a Buu Saga enemy. It's the one downside for this Vegeta when it comes to taking on some of these events, where like his only 200% team currently that is like a Buu Saga team, he's actually on Fat Buu's 200% lead. But obviously you could still run him on any other Buu Saga leader. He's just not going to be getting a 200% until Gotenks comes out, which is of course one of the reasons why I was saying it would be really good for the Carnival LR to be a Majin Buu Saga 200% leader, because then this guy is going to have a 200% team on with which you can run a bunch of other allies. But the thing is, with this team build, even though we're fighting a Buu Saga enemy, we don't have one on this turn, but I did put some Buu Saga units on the team, right? Because TEQ Vegeta's other leader skill is Super Saiyans. So we have the Family Kamehameha Gohan, and we have the STR Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito on the team. So even if we weren't fighting a Buu Saga enemy, we would be able to have them as the on-rotation ally. Oh, of course, the Vegeta was sealed. At least he gets that 120 when attacking. So he would have been at about 500k defense. He's got damage reduction. Did he just get a level 3 dodge? Or is mine like 4 or something? I'll take it, I guess. But yeah, 500k defense with 50% damage reduction obviously means he can tank even like a 1,000,000 damage super for double digits, which isn't a lot anymore when some of the craziest bosses like, you know, Janemba turn 1 is obviously going to do a lot of damage to him. But that's because we started the turn on 4 HP, so he's getting no extra defense from his passive. Obviously, if he's below 50%, he also guards, which is really good. But it's going to be all about getting his transformation. So, of course, he's sealed the... This event has a habit of sealing, like, your stacking units. I deliberately bought Senzu Beans in the hopes of not having the showcase unit be sealed, and then completely didn't realise on that last turn that TEQ Vegeta was actually the one that was sealed. So go ahead and grab the AGL orbs here for King Vegeta. The King Vegeta supporting turn, that turn's going to be pretty good for this TEQ Vegeta, having him in between Saiyan Day Vegeta and then King Vegeta. all that support. He actually shares quite a lot of links with these guys as well. If I bring up his, let's get his link partners up here. Let's get the link tool up for this guy. In the Super Saiyan 2 form, his best link partner, funnily enough, is his own transformed state and the Int Majin Vegeta. That Int Majin Vegeta, I can't wait for him to get an easy A. Int Broly got his during the Worldwide, which means in terms of Saiyan Day units, Int Majin Vegeta is next, but it'll probably be next year sometime. But that'll be a super fun rotation. But then when we get to 5 links, we have the TEQ Saiyan Day Vegeta and King Vegeta. STR Super Vegeta, the Goku, of course, the other unit that Easy Aid with him. In terms of meta relevant units, I mean, funnily enough, Warrior in Black is also a 5 link partner with him. And then when it gets to 4 links, we've got Family Kamehameha Gohan, Int LR Broly, TEQ LR Broly, the physical LR trio, the Super Saiyan LR trio, tons and tons of like LR Super Saiyan units. If that Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, the physical one, LR, gets an easy A in this celebration coming up, because obviously we've got the LR Gotenks, that would be super, super good as well. I do want you to stack, but I guess we won't bother unsealing you here. So we can see on this turn we started on slightly lower HP, so we're at 217k defense start of turn, and then we can go ahead and grab those, and then yeah, I guess we'll just get, we don't really need to worry about key too much for you. Ideally we don't kill him this turn, and then we kill him on the next turn, and then we get the transformation with Majin Vegeta, because they've made the transformation condition a lot easier to get, because it's now when the enemy has 50% or less, or no, 50% or more HP. It was 80%, which meant you could get stuck in this annoying cycle where 16.6 is pretty decent. You get stuck in this annoying cycle where they would constantly be on like the second turn of a new phase, and you would always be doing more than like 20% damage to the enemy, and so then they would just never transform unless you literally got them on the first turn of a new phase. But yeah, with the damage, if he keeps going, I think Gohan is actually going to end up killing him here. But with the condition being changed, we won't do 50% of the STR Buhan's HP on the following turn. So even if we do get the finish here for this phase, we won't be missing out on the Vegeta transformation on the next turn. I think it's as early as, is it turn 3? Let me just double check his condition here when we get there. Oh, he didn't actually finish attack. Perfect. Normally Gohan gets a lot more additionals for me, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we grab the Int Orbs for you, get a little bit of a heal, and then we will see Majin Vegeta come out on the next turn, get another stack here for TEQ Vegeta, and this is where the fun begins, as they say. This is what I've been looking forward to, this TEQ Majin Vegeta with his Easy A. I've seen screenshots from like the advanced showcases and everything when the data download happened, and this guy seems nuts, because he can do a lot of damage whilst also being a very strong defensive unit. But here we go, so we should get our transformation here. I mean, considering that these units are a couple of years old, like, animations still look pretty crisp, and there's the good old SSR LR Majin Vegeta up. Alright, so we got him transformed, and we've got the King Vegeta support turn, so this is going to be fun. I've got to try and make sure I don't get all of the AGL orbs, though. So, 280k defense start of turn. Let's have a look at our boy here now. Look at that art. Love to see that. Very cool. Alright, so now that he's transformed, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, immense damage, and has a great chance to stun. So useful for events where that is still possible. Then we get key 3, attack and defense 200%, damage reduction of 33%, which is just unconditional. He gets an attack boost of 150. The more HP, the greater the attack. And so this is where Vegeta differs from Goku, that makes him a lot better, I think, overall, is it makes him a better all-rounder. Because when you're on high HP, he's getting really good attack and not a lot of bonus defense, but he has really strong defensive mechanics as part of his kit. Like, he already starts with 33% damage reduction, and then if you're on higher HP, not only is he getting a higher attack buff, he's also getting an additional super guaranteed if you're at 50% or more HP. Then he gets the defense boost the lower your health, and if you're at 50% or less, he gets guard. He randomly changes the key spheres again when there's a Buu Saga ally or enemy. Then he gets an additional 33% damage reduction with a rainbow orb obtained. So with 1 rainbow orb, Base, it was 50%. Transformed, it's 66% damage reduction by just getting one orb. Attack and defense 130% when attacking. Attacks effective against all types with 3 or more key spheres. And then an extra attack and defense 66% when attacking, and guard when you get 6 or more orbs. So that means he gets 196% when attacking if we get 6 orbs. So let me try and get the orbs here first. I really don't want to use up all the AGLs, but if we do this, you should be able to get, yep, there we go, get all the purple ones. So we'll do that. So we can see we're at 280. Let's get the old calculator up here again. So we're at 280. 280. Oh, nice. 280, 280. And then we're getting, what did I say it was? 196. 130 and then 66. So on attack, he gets 196% extra. So he goes up to having 829k defense whilst having 66% damage reduction. So if we take, like, I usually use the example of a 3 million damage super attack. So if we take off 66% for his damage reduction, that leaves 1 million. So he would take, what was it, 800 something? He'd take like 200k. And he has guard, so it's actually even less than that. Because guard is a modifier as well. So he would basically take double-digit damage from like a 3 million damage super attack. So that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and then we get our AGL orbs for you. So let's see what attack stat we are going to get here for our boy TEQ MAJIN VEGETA. TEQ Vegeta should eat this. 64k. It's actually a bit more than I thought, but I guess he was the one that got sealed previously. He hasn't had as many stacks. We also don't really have many rotations on this team setup where we have a Goku on rotation, so he's not getting a bunch of additionals. But this is what we came to see, boys. TEQ MAJIN Vegeta. What are we going to do? Remember, we get a guaranteed additional super as well. So 289. So 28.9, I should say. 28.9 million. That is pretty crazy for a unit. Yeah, and then the additional's 30 million. For a unit that will tank 3-4 million damage super attacks for like double digits. Because don't forget, we did that defense calc, but he also gets 50% extra defense from both supers as well. So he's over 1 million defense with 66% damage reduction and guard, which is ridiculous. Like, he's already a really, really strong tanking unit. Like, if he was hitting much lower attack stat numbers, I would still think he was really, really good because of how good he is defensively. But the fact that he's then hitting like that hard as well is actually kind of nutty. So let's keep you there. Yeah, I guess we'll grab those for you. I shouldn't have grabbed all the rainbow orbs, but there's some there anyway, because we obviously do want rainbow orbs for MAJIN Vegeta on the next turn, but he creates them himself anyway. So obviously in the more difficult events, like say Goku and Frieza, you are going to want to have a Majin Buu Saga ally on the rotation so he gets the orb changing. He only needs 1 rainbow orb, which isn't necessarily too bad without a rainbow orb changer. It's just going to be the RNG of the orb field. But the issue is getting the 6 orbs, which is a lot easier when you are a rainbow orb changer, right? So that's going to be his only weakness on the non-Majin Buu Saga like team, like on this team, for example, because you do need that extra little bit of help to get like 6 orb requirements are always annoying on units that don't create their own orbs, because rainbow orbs obviously help to connect the field quite a bit. Rainbow orb changing for a character that needs to pick up a certain number of orbs in order to activate parts of their passive, rainbow orb changing is much better than just like single type color orb changing, because you could change, let's say the RNG is that it picks AGL orbs to change to rainbow and there's only 1 on the whole field, but that 1 could be right in the middle and then connect 2 like groups of orbs together, so you actually end up getting like 8 or 9 orbs. Whereas if you're changing, let's say he was changing them to TEQ and it picks that 1 AGL orb in the middle, there might be no other TEQ orbs around it, or even if they are, maybe they're at the top, and so then that doesn't help you to get 6 orbs. So the rainbow orb changing is going to be really, really useful for him to be getting that full passive unlocked. So at least on this Vegeta team, like by having Vegeta family, there's not really any good Vegeta family Majin Buu Saga characters at the moment. Like in Majin Vegeta is a bit too outdated at this point. I should have put the Heroes Easy A Vegeta on this team, actually, maybe instead of Blue Evolution Vegeta, because we were going to use the TEQ Vegetas as our slot 1 tanks anyway, but that would have been nice for him to get that little bit of extra support. But yeah, this guy is very, very good. Now, the problem is he won't be super good in slot 1. I mean, he still is going to have 66% damage reduction and guard. In fact, let's have a quick look while we're here. Let me bring up the event details for this event, because I can see how much STR Buhan actually hits for with his super attack. And then we could see whether he would actually be able to... tank it, because he is getting a lot of his stats on super, right? So he's not necessarily supposed to be a slot 1 unit. STR Buhan does 1.5 million. So if he was in slot 1 and we pick up the orbs, he has 66% damage reduction and guard. But yeah, he only has the 233k. So 1.5 million minus 66%. It's 510. Guard cuts a little bit off of it as well. I mean, at most, he probably takes like 200k from the super in slot 1, which is kind of crazy. It's just because if TEQ Vegeta attacks, he probably kills him, which is unfortunate. Do you get any extra links from... You don't. All right, let's just do it and see what we get, because we can get our 6 orbs here. It means we don't get a stack for TEQ Vegeta, but that's fine. So we'll do this. So let's see, how much is he going to eat this? So bear in mind, this does 1.5 million. This is before attacking. Yeah, 90k. So, yeah, there you go. Like, that shows in slot 2, he is going to be not taking damage from pretty much anything. In slot 1, he took 90k from a 1.5 million damage super attack. So, that just shows you how incredibly strong he is defensively. Whilst then, if you're starting the turn on a reasonable amount of HP, he's also putting out like crazy attack stat numbers as well, which is... Oh yeah, I don't want this. Let's go ahead and send Zubin here so we can do this. Yeah, we do not want the... do not want King Vegeta eating a super from Buhan. He still has the damage reduction anyway, right? So you can do that. What does the physical Boo-Tanks do? Physical Boo-Tank's damage actually goes down. He does 1.4 million. So... Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta would easily be able to tank a super from him in slot 1 as well. Obviously, when we get to the harder events and characters are hitting a lot harder, because like Janemba, let me double check what Janemba actually does. Is it like 5 million once you factor in all of his buffs? I can't remember. Janemba do be hitting quite hard. Where's the movie event? There we go. Janemba. Yeah, it's like 2.8 million. But then, of course, depending on how many times he's been hit and stuff before that, he could get a massive buff. But yeah, it does 2.8 million. Now, depending on how many times he's been attacked, we will have to do a Vegeta versus Janemba video. But depending on how many times he's been attacked in the turn, TEQ Vegeta would still tank his super attack for double-digit damage after he attacks, which is kind of crazy. I definitely want to get that on video. Then you know what it'll be, though? It'll be one of those ones where we do that run and he just will not super Vegeta. Because that's what always happens with these scenarios. Okay, so you're locked. I mean, I guess we could just do this, actually. So yeah, we'll throw up the standby with you. We just got to be careful that we don't pick up too many of the orbs that we need for Vegeta. But there's so many orbs on the field at the moment, I think it's fine. Because if we grab those for you, then we don't have to worry about the slot 1 unit stealing the Dokkan attack as well. So we'll do this. So we're going to get the Dokkan attack here. It won't be as high of an attack stat because we're not on full health. But we're starting off at 200 and... We've basically got 250k defense because we've started off on the slightly lower HP, which means we've then gotten the more defensive buff from the passive. So then when he gets 196% extra when he attacks... That's like 740, plus the 50% raise from each of his supers. So, yeah, he clears like 1 million defense after attacking. And has 66% damage reduction and guard. So, he is an absolute beast. The question is, when it comes to Easy A's, because obviously I'll make a new Easy A tier list soon. I do kind of want to see if Gotenks is going to come out of any Easy A's. But the big question is going to be, is he better than TEQ Beerus? In terms of taking that #1 spot on like an Easy A tier list. I think possibly yes, because of the teams that he's on and like links and stuff. Because I mean, TEQ Beerus is good defensively, but I don't think he's as good defensively, and he doesn't hit quite as hard and doesn't get a guaranteed additional super attack. So Yeah, I think this guy probably is the new best EZA TUR. Like, he's absolutely wild. You're up to 1 million defense now, so let's go ahead and do this. We're going to absolutely decimate this final bit, because obviously the last couple of stages of this event are a lot easier than the earlier ones. I like doing this event because it's a bit longer. Plus I was doing some stuff on the stream earlier with the Gohan Family Kamehameha stage, and ran out of attempts because that one's still limited for some reason. Plus that stage is kind of annoying for them because the transformation condition is when facing one enemy whose HP is 50% or more. So because the first phase is 3 enemies, you have to try and get rid of the first 2 and then not do too much damage to the other one, so that then when they're the last enemy left, Vegeta or Goku's coming onto rotation with them with 50% or more HP, so that then they can transform. But yeah, Vegeta seems absolutely crazy. The fact that he's hitting the numbers he's hitting damage-wise and then being able to tank as well as he does is kind of crazy. I did see somebody post a calc sheet. I don't want to say, like, take this as gospel because I don't remember exactly, but on the right team setup, with even like with support, makes him even more crazy. But on the right setup, post-super, I think super attacks from the enemy have to do more than like 5 million damage for him to start taking more than double digits, which is pretty crazy. So we will definitely be checking him out against Janemba. That's going to be quite a fun one. Obviously, in that event, he can't really go slot 1. He took, what was it, 90k from the slot 1 super from Buhan that was 1.5. Janemba in slot 1 does 2.8. So already it's going to be an extra like million on top. And a bit, to be fair, 1 million plus. So yeah, he would absolutely be getting destroyed in that scenario, but that's fine because he's not a slot 1 unit. But if the enemy super attack is not crazy enough, or if you have a scouter active and you know the enemy isn't going to be supering in slot 1, then actually you could just put him in slot 1. So I guess he does have that use if the situation arises where, oh man, can't get rid of the AGL orbs for King Vegeta here, but actually it doesn't matter because Majin Vegeta is just going to kill him, so it doesn't matter. So Majin Vegeta here with the support from King Vegeta, and we could probably make this the last turn. That's a lot of damage, and we didn't get a lot of orbs for the standby Gohan, but it is what it is. 32 million, and remember there's a guaranteed second one of these coming, which greatly raises his attack again, so it does even more than that. So yeah, I think you'd have to go quite a long way to be able to convince me that he's not the best EZA TUR now, because that performance is absolutely ridiculous. So let me know what you guys think of EZA TEQ Vegeta. Love to see when they release these dual Goku and Vegeta cards. Goku's usually the better one, so I love it whenever Vegeta is in fact the best one. You guys know I am a huge Vegeta fan. I mean, I literally have a Vegeta tattoo, so we love this TEQ Majin Vegeta. He is the absolute GOAT. Let me know all your thoughts on him down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.